Have you ever wondered how people celebrated birthdays hundreds of years ago? Keep watching to find out. Hello everyone. Welcome back to our channel. Today's video is a special one. In honor of my son's birthday, we will be diving into the long history of birthdays. Birthdays in my house are always an occasion of joy and love. Different cultures have different ways of celebrating them. But what was it exactly that started this tradition? That's what we will be covering today. Before we get started, make sure to hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell next to it. So, grab some popcorn as we delve into this video. If we take a look back, the ancient Egyptians were the first ones to celebrate this type of phenomenon. Of course, their traditions were a bit different than how we celebrate birthdays today. They believed that whenever a pharaoh joined the throne, it was a moment to show off the power and wealth of the pharaoh. So, feasts were held where people danced and gifts were given. It is interesting how nowadays, the gift is given to the person whose birthday is celebrated. But back in the day, gifts were given to those attending the feasts. After the ancient Egyptians came the Greeks. They seemed to catch on to this tradition. Just like the Egyptians, the Greeks also celebrated the birthdays of special people only. This includes gods and goddesses. Some extra additions to these groups of people were rulers or governors of an area, or educated individuals like poets. Still, the common man didn't qualify for a birthday celebration. A cool fact about Greek birthdays was that the deity that the person was associated with was prayed to on their birthday. So, it held a lot of religious value as well. Not only that, but many competitions were held, particularly for men. It was to prove their strength to the gods. A very unique tradition was that the Greeks used candles through which they sent prayers to their deities. Then we move on to the Romans. In today's world, something that we all include in our birthdays is cake. Just like us, the Romans also made a honey cake on their birthdays. It's safe to say that sweet food was always preferred by humans in times of happiness and celebration. In the case of well-known people, announcements were made to the public as a way to gather everyone. The Romans also made offerings to their gods as a way to show gratitude and ask for protection. Such fascinating stuff. Now that we have talked about the Greeks and the Romans, let's discuss birthdays during the Middle Ages. For context, the Middle Ages are referred to the period between the 5th century and the 15th century. If we look at Europe, birthdays were not very common. Only privileged families would have such feasts because they could afford the luxuries. The rest of the people weren't too familiar with this practice. If we discuss the continent of Asia, we see how diverse every culture is. For example, in Japan, people didn't celebrate birthdays as much. However, there was a popular celebration called Jinpuku, which was a coming-of-age ceremony. It showed that a person has matured into their adulthood and was ready to carry out their adulthood responsibilities. Meanwhile, in China, offerings were made to their ancestors on their birthdays. Moving on to Africa, different tribes had distinct traditions and beliefs regarding this concept. Typically, major events like marriage were given more importance. I hope you guys are enjoying it so far. Give this video a thumbs up to see more videos like this. Let's fast forward to the 18th century. So far, we have seen that birthdays were only celebrated by important people. However, in this era, there was a common theme of parties for children. This signifies that birthdays were now soon a common celebration rather than a religious sentiment. There were family get-togethers and the person whose birthday was being celebrated had their favorite meals cooked. Anyways, have you ever wondered when the tradition of blowing candles on your birthday started? It was during the 18th ages that the Germans invented this concept. Isn't that cool? Not only birthday candles but the prettily decorated cakes were found during this era as well. It should be noted though that these extravagant parties were not affordable to every class of the society. An era that represents elegance and class is the Victorian era. You must have seen the prestigious outfits, gowns, and parties in old Victorian paintings. We all know the classic tea parties that were held in Britain during this time. The celebration of birthdays was also done through these gatherings, especially in upper-class families. If it was an elite family, reservations were made at fancy venues and invitations were given out to the guests. Imagine having your birthday at an extravagant hall. Sounds awesome, doesn't it? Now of course whenever you have a birthday party, entertainment is a must. Charades was a common game played by the Victorians. Finally, let's talk about the 20th century. This is when home parties became a common thing. Keep in mind that technology just began advancing during this time, so there were a lot of entertainment activities with games and movie screenings as time went on. Such a big transition from the Greek era, right? It seems like people started taking birthdays as a lighthearted celebration. Now we can come on to the era in which we are currently lining, the 21st century. Since everything is much more digitalized now, online invitations and hiring of videographers is a very common thing now. In fact, you watching YouTube right now is proof. People record their memories and publish them online. This way, people from all around the globe can celebrate a person's birthday. Birthdays are full of happy moments and gift-giving is considered essential. To sum this all up, the history of birthdays is extremely fascinating. It makes us think how far we have come. Each culture has its own sentimental value, but there's one thing in common: birthday celebrations are full of love and well wishes for that person. I would like to wish my son a very happy birthday. I wish him nothing but the best. This YouTube channel was made to document our family's adventures, and we are so glad to bring you guys along on this journey. So to thank all of you for watching our videos, we're giving away 3 $50 Amazon gift cards to 3 random subscribers. Here's how you can win one. First, make sure you're subscribed to this channel. Then, like this video. And finally, wish Pool a happy birthday in the comments in the most creative way possible. If you do all 3, you're officially entered. Then on our next video, for my son's 21st birthday, we'll select 3 winners. If you're chosen, we'll reply to your comment with further instructions to receive your prize, so keep an eye on your notifications. Good luck, and join us in wishing Pool a happy 21st birthday. Secret history behind birthdays. $50 Amazon giveaway. Official rules. Agreement to rules. Entries that don't comply with YouTube's community guidelines will be disqualified. You can find the full list of community guidelines here: www.youtube.com/howyoutubeworks/policies/community-guidelines. We reserve the right to refuse, withdraw, or disqualify any entry at our discretion if you violate any of the stated rules. Entry period. You have until December 8th, 5:30 p.m. and Eastern Standard Time to enter the contest. On December 9th, a drawing of all qualified entries will be held, and 3 winners will be selected. Prizes. 3 $50 Amazon gift cards will be sent to the emails of the selected winners. Selection of winners. On December 17th, we'll respond to 3 comments on the video, notifying them that they have won. You must reply with a valid email address for us to send the Amazon gift card. If no email address is provided after 1 week, we will select another winner. Disclaimer: in no way is this giveaway endorsed, associated with, sponsored by, or administered by YouTube.